The Peanuts movie. One of the best movies Blue Sky Studios has ever made. Now, I was never really a Blue Sky fan, but the only movies I really loved from the company were not only Peanuts, but Rio as well. And I can't believe that just recently this year, this amazing gem has now turned 10 years old. That's right, it has been 10 years since the Peanuts movie was released to the world. And to this day, I still remember the time I went to theaters to check this out, and let me tell you all, it was worth it. Whenever you are, or perhaps not a fan of the Peanuts franchise, you can't go wrong with how amazing this film is. The animation is great, the voice acting was spot on, and the score was well deserved. When the movie first came out, it was actually nominated for a Golden Globe Award for Best Animated Feature Film, but sadly, it lost to Inside Out. To be fair, Inside Out was also a really great movie, since it was exploring around emotions, and it had some really great heartfelt messages. But you know what? It's fine. In my perspective, both the Peanuts movie and Inside Out are equally good films. But right now, let's go over the story of the Peanuts movie, the film that was such a special gem and was one of the most best movies of the 2010s. Here in the start, we get the introduction of all the Peanuts characters that we know and love, and the animation just looks amazing. It was the perfect mixture of 2D-like animation and 3D animation, and pretty much this movie was technically the true start of animated movies having more stylized visuals and animation. Not to mention this movie came out 3 years before Spider-Verse was released, which of course the animation in Spider-Verse got the attention of a lot more companies out there to use that animation style as well. Yeah, most likely the Peanuts movie is what started this trend. The kids started doing some activities in the snow while Charlie Brown tries to fly a kite in the winter, but he hilariously fails in many ways possible. This scene is actually a great reference since Charlie Brown did try to fly a kite before in the old 1969 Peanuts film, A Boy Named Charlie Brown, and he does mess up in that as well. After causing a lot of chaos, Lucy Van Pelt gets angry at him and she only views Charlie Brown as a failure, but I can tell she's only mad at Charlie Brown for accidentally messing up her skating performance in front of some other kids. And also, Lucy has not always been the nice one in the entire Peanuts franchise, because she has always been having issues ever since the beginning. There have been times where she would actually be nice and not be bossy a lot, and then she would get angry for a minute and then go back to being nice. That has always been her character. On school day, Linus brings a model triplane for show and tell, and the model is an exact replica of the Red Baron's plane. Charlie Brown then accidentally got it to fly and it caused havoc. Yeah, that's what you get, Lucy, you little brat. Luckily, Marcy saves the day. A new student joins the class and it happens to be the little red-haired girl, which Charlie Brown already falls in love with. Now, this actually isn't the first time Charlie Brown has fallen in love with her. In many other old Peanuts specials, she would have some redesigns and small changes, plus her real name is actually Heather Wold. It's actually confirmed on Wikipedia that's her real name, and even in the movie itself, it clearly shows that as well. Since Charlie Brown was going through rough times, he finds this as an opportunity to make himself better and less awful, in order to get the little red-haired girl to notice him. Oh, and Snoopy tries to sneak into the school but then gets kicked out. And he finds a typewriter. Now this movie has two side plots. The A plot is about Charlie Brown trying to get the little red-haired girl's attention, and the B plot is about Snoopy writing a novel about him being involved in a war with the Red Baron, and being in love with another dog pilot named Fifi. And Snoopy would get the ideas for a story based off of Charlie Brown's key events. Charlie Brown then enters a talent show at the school, and by the way, there's this one part in the scene that I really love. After watching the scene play out, I immediately got the reference.
I've been kissed by a dog! I have dog germs! Get hot water! Get some disinfectant! Get some iodine!
Man, I love the callbacks. During the show, however, Charlie Brown's sister Sally was getting humiliated on stage due to her performance. So he decided to sacrifice his axe in order to help his sister with hers. And it actually works, in a very chaotic way. Plus, Charlie Brown then gets humiliated. But hey, even though Charlie Brown's plan to impress the little red-haired girl did not go well as he thought it would, he did the right thing. Sally is his sister, he had to be there for her, and that's what made this scene so wholesome and funny at the same time. Later, a school dance was happening, so Charlie Brown decides to practice dancing, hoping that he can maybe impress a little red-haired girl with his moves, and Snoopy helps him out. Then we get into this montage with the song Better When I'm Dancing, a beautiful catchy song. And to be honest, I really love this song. Not only does it remind me of the Peanuts movie, it's just so nice to listen to. Plus we get into this 2D animated sequence. It matches the comic strip works from Charles M. Schulz. At the dance, Charlie Brown already gets a lot of attention for his dancing skills, until he accidentally slips and his shoe causes a sprinkler to be set off, causing the dance to be cut short. Now that was really sad. It looked like Charlie Brown had the shot, therefore achieving his goal, but then there would always be something that would get in the way of that moment. But the next day, Charlie Brown is partnered with a little red-haired girl to write a book report. While she was gone until Monday to take care of her grandmother who wasn't feeling well, Charlie Brown decided to write the book report alone, and he does it on a college-level book titled War and Peace. But then more crazy stuff happened. Later at school, Charlie Brown actually gets a perfect score on a standardized test that he took earlier. All of his friends and all the other students, except for Lucy, began to congratulate him, making him a celebrity. But sadly, nothing could last forever, as it was revealed that the standardized test that he took was accidentally mixed up with Peppermint Patty's test, because in like 12 minutes and 30 seconds in the movie, they both wrote their names on each other's papers. But the thing I don't get is that how come Charlie Brown and Peppermint Patty didn't notice what papers they were writing on? Because if you look closely at the scene where they were writing their names, you can clearly see what they're writing them on. And even their school teacher was in front of them, and how come she didn't see that either and didn't bother to tell them? Well, I guess Charlie Brown and Peppermint Patty were in a rush because they were mainly focusing on writing their names quickly on the papers, and not to mention they were running out of time. Moving on, when Charlie Brown learns about what went wrong, he had to come clean and tell everyone in the assembly about the mistake. Lucy knew that she was right that there was a misunderstanding, Sally wanted a divorce, and Charlie Brown declines the medal, making him unpopular again. This was pretty much definitely the most saddest scene in the movie. Charlie Brown was finally going somewhere. Everyone he knew didn't like him that much, but then they were finally showing him some respect. And it looked like he had the chance to get the attention of the little red-haired girl. But at least Charlie Brown did the right thing to come clean to the audience instead of just lying. Because even if he did try to lie his way out of it, there would be a time that he would get caught. And I'm actually surprised that it took everyone, including Peppermint Patty, that long to realize about the mix-up. And things got even worse because that huge book report that Charlie Brown wrote for him and the little red-haired girl was accidentally shredded by Linus's model Red Baron triplane. And by the way, there actually have been moments in the movie where the plane would be flying past some scenes throughout the entire movie. And that plane belonged to Linus, and how come he didn't bother going after it? Well, I guess he knew that going after that model would be dangerous, because let's be real here, that plane was able to shred up 2 pages of paper in an instant, and thanks to that, it caused Charlie Brown and the little red-haired girl to fail the assignment, and made Charlie Brown give up on his attempts to improve himself. Meanwhile, Charlie Brown met this kid later on. The kid was having trouble flying a kite, so Charlie Brown teaches him how to fly it, even though Charlie Brown is not an expert at flying kites. But it actually helps the kid because he manages to get it to fly. Then Snoopy writes the next part in his novel where he fights the Red Baron to save his girlfriend Fifi. Wait, Lucy, what is she doing on there? Oh wait, she was the one narrating Snoopy's story. Okay, that actually makes a lot of sense. Let's move on. On the last day of school, everyone had to choose a pen pal, and the little red-haired girl actually chooses Charlie Brown, much to his surprise and curiosity. So Linus encourages Charlie Brown to tell the little red-haired girl how he feels about her, but he has to do it fast before she ends up leaving for summer camp. After causing a lot of chaos, he finally made it to her and asked why she chose him to be her pen pal, even after all the disasters Charlie Brown caused. The little red-haired girl explained to him that she admires all the qualities Charlie Brown had, with helping his sister at the talent show, being brave at the school dance, being honest at the assembly, and writing a huge book report while she was away. She liked the type of person Charlie Brown was. She then gets on the bus and tells Charlie Brown that she will write to him right before the bus leaves. And this makes all the other kids, including Lucy as well, to congratulate Charlie Brown, making an amazing final finish as this scene later turns into a comic strip frame as Schulz signs his signature on the bottom, bringing the movie to a close. Oh, by the way, there are a few small scenes in the end credits that involve Charlie Brown's classic football scene and Snoopy's never-ending grudge with the Red Baron. And in case if you're wondering what happened to Linus's Red Baron plane, in the end credits, the plane stops flying and falls in the lake. 10 years later, this movie is still amazing. Blue Sky Studios really went all out with this film. It had amazing messages, amazing animation, and amazing storytelling, and the ending really showed that even though someone may be clumsy all the time and may not have good qualities, they may be looked down upon, but deep down, they are still somebody, and you can't always judge a book by its cover. 10 years old and for some reason still feels brand new to the Peanuts franchise. This was the perfect adaptation to Charles M. Schulz's legacy. If he was still here, he would be really proud, and I bet that somewhere up there, he still is. Thank you, Blue Sky, for giving us the Peanuts movie. Even though you did shut down recently, blame Disney for that, your legacy will still be remembered, and this movie's legacy will never fade away. Oh, I forgot. There is actually a sequel to the Peanuts movie in the works. Not being made by Blue Sky Studios since they are no longer in business. It's being done by Apple TV+. Here's the image of what we can expect from it. What's it about is that the Peanuts gang go on an epic adventure to the big city, learning the true meaning of friendship while meeting some surprising new friends along the way. And just by looking at the image, it's the same style of the movie we had. Well, it's not really a direct sequel to the first Peanuts movie, but Steve Martino, who was the director of the original film, will actually return as a director for this as well, so it looks like the movie is in good hands. And this movie will unfortunately not be a theatrical release like the first film. It will come out exclusively on Apple TV+. Now, it has been 2 years since this was announced as the time of this video, and so far we haven't gotten any more news about it ever since, but hopefully as the years go by, we will most likely get more information about it, so be on the lookout for that. Now it's time for the comment shoutout program, and these comments are from my viewers who talks about how they think of the Peanuts movie. This person says, absolute cinema, one of the greatest films I've ever watched. This one says that it's a good movie, and this last one here says that it brings him nostalgia. That's great, it brings me nostalgia as well. Thank you for watching this video. Be sure to click on that subscribe button and turn on that notification bell to never miss any videos. What are your opinions on the Peanuts movie? Let's talk in the comments. Thanks for watching and I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.